I want to first express my sincere sympathies to the families of particularly those who've lost loved ones during the coronavirus pandemic, and particularly to the 7 families who have suffered loss today. Throughout the 9 weeks of the lockdown, the Department has prioritised the learning needs of our pupils, as well as the physical and mental health and well-being of our young people in our care and our staff. Our teachers, school leaders, youth workers and other education partners are continuing to do an excellent job in supporting our children and young people and their families. Since Easter, there's been a rise in the number of children attending open schools, and on average 450 settings have been open daily, with around 2,000 staff supporting supervised learning for around 1,700 children. I've been acutely aware of the concerns of substitute teaching workforce who no longer have access to secure work. On Tuesday, the Department launched the Income Support Scheme for teachers. The Executive will provide £4 million funding towards the scheme, and I've reprioritised my budget to meet the balance of £8 million. Turning to free school meals payments, the scheme introduced by my department to date, free school meal payments have been in the region of 10.7 million and have been made in respect of 101,500 children. Whilst the number of vulnerable children attending school here remains low at approximately 300 to 400 a day, it is increasing. Work to support our vulnerable children continues, with significant collaboration between the Education Authority, Health and Social Care Service and the PSNI. I appreciate that this crisis is impacting on the mental health and emotional well-being of our children and young people, and I will be considering in the days ahead how best we can support them when they return to school. Providing continuity of learning for our young people is a key focus of the education sector. Unlike other education systems, we have in place an educational technology system which is effectively supporting online learning. Through C2K, the Education Authority delivers a comprehensive range of tools of support teaching and learning. This will be very important in the coming months as we move to a more blended approach to learning, with time spent in the classroom and time at home. I'm conscious that some school pupils are at more risk of falling behind than others. In response, I've announced a scheme to lend devices to our educationally disadvantaged and vulnerable learners moving into key transition years. This involves a 3-stage process to the allocation of digital devices to children. Stage 1, using existing school stock, which is already being lent out. Stage 2, using 3,000 new laptops, which have been procured by the Education Authority. And Stage 3, if needed, a further 4,000 to 8,000 additional devices will be bought. These could provide up to 24,000 devices to be lent out to pupils over the coming weeks according to need, with criteria already established to prioritise distribution. In relation to restarting the education system, we're looking to the future. While there's been a tremendous amount of work done in remote learning over the past 2 months, it's important that we focus now on recovery and a process of phased reopening of our schools. This must be led by medical and scientific evidence to ensure that it's done in a manner and at a timescale which is safe for our pupils, our staff and wider society. The pathway to recovery will follow the route outlined in the education section of the Executive Approach to Decision-Making document. I'm aware of the need to give as much certainty to people as possible, so let me set out the likely timeframe as regards schools. The Department has established a restart programme which, working alongside a wide range of stakeholders, will put in place the detailed arrangements which will enable a safe, phased reopening of schools. Therefore, other than the current provisions for children of key workers and vulnerable children, there will be no overall reopening of schools during the remainder of this academic year. Working alongside other departments, we will explore what role the voluntary, community and private sectors can play in making provision for our young people during the summer. Then, subject to medical guidance and safety, it would be my aim to see a phased reopening of schools, beginning with a limited provision for key cohort years in late August, followed by phased provision for all students at the beginning of September. This will not be a return to school as it was prior to COVID-19, but rather a new normal, reflective of social distancing and a medically safe regime. For all pupils, it will involve a schedule with a mixture of school attendance and remote learning at home. Finally, in line with the Executive strategy, contingent upon medical guidance and scientific evidence around susceptibility and transmission, consideration may be given to a full return for cohorts of younger pupils. This is the biggest public health crisis we've faced in living memory, and the Executive's priority is to help keep people safe and to support those who have faced real hardship.